Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Rejoicing Family podcast. It's your co-host Otito Lulua, and thank you for tuning in to stream our podcast on Spotify. And if you are watching on YouTube, hi. So today you and I are going to be spending time with the Rejoicing Family children. I'm sure you are surprised that we've probably not had kids on this podcast before. But what we are doing with this episode is just to celebrate the children and just to get to know what the Rejoicing Family children are up to. And so we are going to be discussing the challenges that the kids face and the just their relationship with parents and their relationship with God as well, because as you know, what we try to do with this podcast is not just talk but say things that actually what the Bible expects from us in our day-to-day life. All right, so before getting started into our discussion for today, we are quickly going to start with a prayer, as it's our tradition to always kick off our discussion with a prayer. So in Jesus' name, Heavenly Father, we thank you for bringing us all together again today to just share our day-to-day life and experiences. Lord, we pray that whatever we say here shall help our listeners in the mighty name of Jesus. For in Jesus' name we have prayed. All right, so I'll quickly introduce our guest for today. And yes, do you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Tetisimi.
Tetisimi, thank you for coming around. And
my name is Damisi.
Okay, and
my name is
Ijoma. So we have Tetisimi, Damisi, and Ijoma. Quickly, do you want to share what your ages are? So Tetisimi, how old are you?
10.
Tetisimi is 10 years old. Damisi is?
I'm 13.
13 and?
I'm 15.
And 15. Perfect. So it's exciting that we have children of different ages here. So I guess parents, if you're listening, just try to bring your kids on the podcast, because there's like a few things that we're going to discuss and they can learn from what we are going to be talking about today. So before we start making things too serious, I have a game here called Would You Rather? And so Tetisimi, would you rather read a book or watch a TV?
Depends.
Depends on?
Most of the time I'd read a book, but sometimes I'd watch the TV.
Okay. Damisi?
Well, I would definitely choose read a book because I love novels.
Okay, so our children are very, very brilliant. And IJ?
Same thing as Teddy, depends.
It depends on
what I'm doing or how I'm feeling.
Okay, so the second one is, would you rather eat a cupcake or an apple? Tetisimi, do you want to go first?
I'd rather eat an apple because I don't like most cupcakes.
Why?
I don't like caramel, it's too sweet.
Oh, okay. And Damisi?
Well, it depends, kind of like, my body doesn't really tolerate much sugar, but if I feel like it, I'll take cupcake.
Okay. And IJ?
Well, it depends what apple it is.
It depends.
If it's a green apple, then
okay.
I'll take it. If it's a normal one, I'll take the cupcake.
Okay. Then the last one is, would you rather have a pet dog? Actually, you're starting this time around. Would you rather have a pet dog or a pet cat?
Do I have to choose one?
You have to choose one.
A pet cat.
A pet cat? Really?
Yes.
Are your parents going to allow you to have a cat? No.
I don't want one.
You don't want one?
No.
But you prefer a cat than a dog?
Yeah.
Why don't you want one? You just don't want now or later? What about Damisi? Would you rather have a pet dog or a pet cat?
I'll have a pet dog.
A pet dog?
Yeah.
I don't know which one to choose between a dog or a cat.
You love both of them?
Mm-hmm.
That's my guy. All right, thank you very much. So yeah, today is Saturday, right? And what do you get up to on Saturdays in the morning? Do you want to go first?
Normally I'd go to football.
What time?
10 o'clock.
In the morning. Every Saturday you go to football every morning.
Yeah.
Exciting. Then what do you then do?
As I would probably come over and then we'll go to the park.
Go to the park?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Damsi?
Well, first of all, I do my chores.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
I do my chores first, and then
you do your chores first. What are the chores you do in the morning on Saturdays?
You clean the kitchen.
Okay.
Clean your room because it's the weekend or something.
Yeah.
And then I do my homework. Like I have this math homework that I always make sure I do every weekend because
Okay.
the deadline is on Tuesday,
Okay.
and I close late on Mondays, so I don't want to waste my time doing them on Mondays.
Yeah.
And then I probably watch TV or something.
Okay, that's nice. Then IJ.
Well, I start with chores like vacuuming, cleaning windows, cleaning up rooms. Then around 10, 11, I get on the bus to come to church to join choir practice. And then that usually takes up to 3. Then I go home, I eat, and then I just relax for the rest of the day.
Okay. So, what would you say you always look forward to when you wake up on Saturdays? What's that one thing you always? I think for 30 Simi, that would be the football, because that was me when I was younger. Every Saturday morning, my mom would take my brother and I to the to play basketball, and so that was something we look forward to every Saturday. So that's for you, football every Saturday. That's something you look forward to. And Damsi, what's that one thing you look forward to when you wake up on Saturdays?
Well, it's always to watch TV.
It's always to watch TV.
Yeah.
Do you watch TVs on Mondays to Friday or just more on
No,
Saturday?
we're not permitted to
You're not-
watch in during the weeks.
You're not permitted to watch TVs during the week.
Yeah.
Wow, exciting. I guess that's one of the reasons why we're doing this podcast, because we want to just know what do you, because I'm sure that's different. IJ, do you watch TV during the week? You're also not permitted to watch TV during the week. What about 30 Simi?
I am permitted.
You're permitted. Wow. Can you imagine? I mean, 30 Simi is 10 years old and he watches TV during the week. IJ is 15. He's not permitted to watch TV during the week. Damisi is not permitted. So you see, like, it's just different with everybody. And I guess that's why we have this podcast, because we want to, like, just, again, get to know what works for, what works for everybody is different, right? So, all right. So it's looking like we're going to get into the discussion of the day. And again, today's episode, we want to talk about the challenges of being a child. What do you like to do more? What things do your parents do that may annoy you? And also just discuss more about like your growth and, just again, what makes you happy. All right. So, there's a study that more than 1 in 20 children between the ages of 6 to 17 suffer from anxiety or depression, and both conditions are created by stress. So before do we know the meaning of depression? Just, the meaning of depression, right? If I'm going to use something, you want to say something?
No.
Okay. Okay. You know the meaning of depression. You know the meaning of stress, and let's just say kids being unhappy, right, and being sad, right? And so let's look at Monday to Friday, and what time of that day are the hardest for you, Tetisimi? Who wants to go first? Do you want to take your time to think about
I'll
it?
take my time.
You take your time to think about it. Damisi, are you ready? So Monday to Friday, what time of that day are the hardest for you?
Well, I would say on Mondays in the morning, because usually on Mondays I have to get up early to go to school because my school is quite far from the house and I take the bus.
So what time do you get up?
I get around 6 o'clock or
Okay.
5:30, and then when I get to school, like I have to wait for some time in school because I have gotten early to school because I have to catch the bus. And then usually, because I'm not the kind of person who has that much friends and stuff, I keep to myself or read a novel or something like that. And then the subjects you have to catch up and that kind of stuff. Like on Mondays, I know I have science first or something, and we have this teacher, she's a kind of a person who wants you to do more and stuff. I'm good at science, but sometimes the pressure could be overwhelming and stuff, and you have to just know that you have to keep trying better and harder to get to where she wants you to get to. So that's it.
So that's that day. So from Monday, so between Monday and Friday, Mondays actually you feel like Mondays are hard, right?
Yeah, because it's a longer day.
It's a longer day for you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll come back to you. Ajay, are you ready to say something?
Yeah, I'd say through the Monday to Friday, the hardest time would be when it's when I wake up and it's cold outside, because I don't feel like going to school, but I know that I have to. Because in school, I'm part of the leadership group, so we have to be one of the ones in school helping, doing all of these. But sometimes it just feels good to lie down in bed.
Yeah.
But I can't because I have stuff to do.
Okay, I'll come back to you too. Tetisma, you ready?
Probably the morning.
Every morning during that week.
Probably because I'm just like tired in the mornings.
Okay, that's just. So how do you feel when you are tired? Do you feel like really unhappy? Do you feel like really, or you're just you're tired and you're still excited to go to school?
Yeah, I'm still excited to go to
You're
school.
still wow, that's wonderful. I mean, if you wake up every morning and you feel tired and you're still excited to go to school, that's perfect. Damn. So on Mondays, what word would you use to express how you feel on Mondays?
Well, I just go like, we have to deal with this.
We have to deal with this.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's fair too.
Yeah.
That's coming from a good place. IJ,
Well,
when you wake up every morning and you still want to sleep and the weather's cold, does that
on Mondays, you just have to let it go. But other days, I'm excited to go to school. It's just Mondays.
okay? No worries. So what would you say? What would you say to kids that wake up in the morning on Mondays and they have a long day? I mean, you go with the flow. It's like, I mean, regardless of how I feel about this, I'm going to keep moving. I mean, that's the energy I'm getting from
Yeah.
you. So, but like we other children that they don't have that, I'm going to keep moving. So how would you advise them?
I'll tell them that when you finish school and when you're finally done and you look back to remember everything that's happened, you're going to say, it's been worthwhile. You're going to say, so I just tell myself that in a few years' time, when I'm finally where I want to be,
Yeah.
would all this, like all the stress and everything, would it really matter? Because I've seen quite a number of people with that little energy that they just want to, even after grudgingly going to school, like they still don't want to do anything. Like I'll just say, when you look back, when you're older and you're not where you want to be, you're gonna say that I wish. Because I remember in Nigeria, my teachers used to say that they have passed this phrase and that they're where they want to be. So if you want to kind of like say that, why can't they also go through what we are going? They'll say that they've gone through this phase already and that
Yes.
it's our turn to do what we want to do in life. So I'll just say that.
Thank you very much. Again, if you are listening to our podcast on Spotify, you better run to YouTube to see these beautiful faces and put your children on because we are just getting started. So some other challenges that kids face today are bullying, academic distractions, mental health concerns, excessive screen time, and malnutrition. So in Nigeria, because that's where I'm from, yeah, access to quality education is a big matter of concern. Do you get what I mean? And so what is it like for you here in terms of like education? Do you think you're getting the best out of what education is? Or do you talk to your friends that go to other schools and you think that they are way ahead of you? So tell me with you, what do you think?
Well, I think that my school is very good for education, and even though sometimes that the classmates are always messing around, we still learn what we need to learn.
That's interesting. You still learn what you need to learn. Okay, let me see.
Well, I'll say that here, the school is free and stuff. But
Okay.
in Nigeria, every term you have to pay. Like, I remember yesterday in school, like my school is trying to plan a charity for a football pitch that's going to cost about £10,000 for the school to contribute to. And then my classmate were like, the school is broke and stuff like that. And my form tutor was like, you guys are so ungrateful. Like in other countries, you have to pay to go to school.
Yeah.
Right here, you just have to go to school. It's free. The government are paying for it. And you just ask you to contribute a little money for charity and you hear whining and moaning. And I was like, well, same thing goes for Nigeria because you have to pay for schools. And I'm saying that even in Nigeria, they might be a little bit ahead of us in education and discipline a little bit. But I know that at the end of the day, it's going to be worthwhile because they have, like, here you have more opportunities and stuff. In Nigeria, you have to work to get what you want to get.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, you will be at the right place.
Thank you. What about EJ? What would you say regarding the quality of the education that you get from here?
Well, I would say the school that I go to, it's really helping me because stuff that if I went 3 years back and I saw the stuff that I'm doing now, I would say, oh, I would not be able to do them, but now I'm able to do them confidently. But there are just some lessons where the teacher just wants you to do the work. She doesn't teach you, she doesn't give you any pointers, she just says do the work and then you leave not learning anything.
Wow. So what happens next? How do you then manage that yourself when you find yourself in that situation?
Well, I note down the topics and when I go home, I revise over them and I just look over what I did in school and increase my understanding of it.
That's good to know. So you spend a lot of time studying after school, right, EJ? You spend a lot of time studying after school. All right. So that brings me to my next question for you, EJ. So now, I mean, there are things that you know now that you didn't know before. When you look back at where you're coming from with school, there are things that you've had to learn on your own.
Yeah.
So what do you know how to do that you can teach others? So it's like when I meet my peers, this is my strength. This is something I know how to do and I can teach them. Do you want to think about it? I can come back to you. Damisi, what do you know how to do from school that you can teach others?
Well, in school, you have to I remember in Nigeria because it's always like the theory part, but here it's kind of like practical. You have to be out there. You have to have the confidence to do things. And I'm someone naturally who keeps to myself, but my teachers are like, they have to bring me out of my shell to do stuff. You have to mingle about and stuff. So
okay. But again, what do you know how to do? What do you know how to do from school? That's like your strength. That you know what, if I find myself with my peers, I can teach them how to do it. It could be like maybe sciences. It could be like, is that something you are very...
I used to be confused in maths about this algebra topic, but now I kind of I know it much better.
You know it much better, so you can teach.
Yeah.
All right. So I know we have a lot of children listening to our podcast right now, and obviously they're gonna come and meet you to teach them algebra. Is that fine?
Yeah.
All right. Tetisimi, is that something you can teach other people?
What would probably happen in my class is that whenever we go into like pairs to do
Yeah.
work, the people are more excited about doing the work than actually reading the question. And I've learned through the hard way that you have to read the question.
Wow. You're not just talking to kids now, you're even talking to the adults. Because again, we need to read the questions, right? We need to understand the questions, right, before thinking about the solutions. Okay. Do you have something from school that you're very good at that you know that if I find somebody that's my age, I can teach this person? Maybe like subjects, like courses, do you have anything?
Probably
Maths. So you are very good with maths. All right. So again, guys, Tetisimi is very good with maths. Come and meet Tetisimi after church on Sundays to teach you maths, right? Thank you. So another thing I wanted us to talk about was excessive screen time. I mean, it's exciting to know that for EJ and Damisi, no TV during the week, right? But there's plenty of TV during the weekends. For Tetisimi, a little bit flexible. You can watch TV during the week, right? But what about phones? Do you have a phone, Tetisimi?
I have a phone, but it's not the best phone. I'm going to get a proper phone when I go to secondary school.
Okay, it's not one. Why is it not the best phone though?
It's just the starter phone for I got it during lockdown for me to call my friends out so we could play together during lockdown.
Yeah. Okay, I get you. Damisi, do you have a phone and do you spend time with your phone?
Yeah.
So during the week, are you with your phone?
Not really.
Do you have it's not flexible too?
No.
So how does it work? Tell us how do you...
You can actually just do anything you want to do, but sometimes when you go to YouTube, you know these YouTube shorts?
Yeah.
You watch one and then you say you want to stop.
Yeah.
But then you don't know where you keep on scrolling and stuff. So I'm kind of trying to limit myself in how I watch YouTube.
Okay, so how do you do that? Is there a time that you then pick up your phone?
I know that I've put a setting on my phone that once it's 11 o'clock.
11 p.m.?
Yeah, it automatically says I have to dismiss that app.
Okay.
Because I know once you keep on scrolling, you can't stop it and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, so you have to just kind of discipline yourself on it.
What age did you get your first phone?
I got it around when I was 10.
10. All right. I'll give you a gist about me and phones. And what about EJ?
I have a phone and I do use it a lot.
What age did you get your first phone?
So when I started secondary school, so around 10, 11.
10, 11. Have you ever felt like, you know what, I'm spending a lot of time on my phone?
Yes.
And when did you start having that? When did you start, becoming a thing to you?
I think it was at the start of this year.
The start of this year? Wow. That's a long time, I felt like, because you're 15 now. So I mean, it's exciting to note that here in the UK, there's a lot of kids that are even below 10 years without phones. I mean, growing up, I was very lucky to have a phone at a very early age, but it didn't feel normal in the society that I grew up in, because obviously, like, people felt that the older generation felt that there were a lot of things on the phone that were happening, and they didn't want us to get into them. I mean, because like, technology in a way is taken around the world, right? So it's like, but now, I mean, you see a 2-year-old person, a 2-year-old baby with an iPad, right? But again, I guess you guys, you are able to manage your time with your phones, and I mean, that's what it's supposed to be, right? As children, you're not supposed to spend so much of time on your phone, because you have school the next day, you have assignments to do, you have to study, right? So I guess you guys are on the right track, right? Thank you. All right, so let's talk about fun things that kids love a lot. So let's leave the serious things now and let's talk about fun things, right? The first one I put on my notes is cuddles. Cuddling is one of the things that a lot of children love from their parents. And tell me, what do you think? Do you love to cuddle? You love a big hug from mom and from dad, and do you get that often?
Yeah,
Do you always ask them, or it just comes?
it just comes.
It just comes. That's good,
Most of the time, it just comes.
And how do you feel when it comes?
I feel happy.
Ooh, exciting. What about Damsi? I mean, you are older now, so
Yeah, I know.
what's your experience with cuddles now that you're 13?
I know I'm older, but it's still the same. Like
Wow.
my mom and my dad would say I'm still their baby and stuff.
That's good. So it's like, you're 13-year-old, but you're still my baby, and I'll still hug you every time. Do you ask them for hugs?
No, they give me hugs like after school.
After school,
when
they
I
give
come
you
back,
hugs
when I come
every
home.
day. Again, if you're listening to our podcast, do you give your children hugs every day after school? I've just learned that from you. I mean, I don't have a child, but now I'm going to keep in my head, when I get married and I have children, I'm going to give them hugs every day after school. IJ, let's go to you.
Well, like she said, even though I'm older,
Yeah.
compared to my parents, I'm still a child. So
Yeah.
they'll still see me as a child. So yes, I do get hugs.
You do get hugs. And do you ever, like, ask them for hugs? It just comes.
It just comes.
But there are times, have you tested me, guys, are there times you've always, like, you want hugs and you needed to, like, ask them, or have you ever thought about asking them for hugs?
A few times.
A few times. That's good, because I mean, sometimes you just need a hug after a stressful day in school. So, like, if you need hugs, do not hold yourself back from asking your parents for hugs. All right. Okay, so the next fun thing that kids love a lot is best friends. Best friends. Everyone wants to have a best friend, right? Do you have a best friend, Tetisimi?
Yes.
And how's it been? How's your parents manage your relationship with your best friends? Has it been easy for them to manage, or do you think your parents have? What do you think?
It's been easy,
It's been
really.
easy. You have a perfect relationship with your parents, Let me see. What about you? Best friends? I know you spend a lot of time with yourself, but again, you need somebody to talk to every time. So has it been with your best friends?
I always say I have a best friend, but I know in school I have people that I go to. I know my people that I go to meet and stuff.
Yeah.
And with my parents, it's that they have to know my friends.
That's exactly that's one of the things I actually want to hear from you guys. So, like, they know your friends, right? And so what's your parents' relationship with your friends?
Like, they have to know that they're not people who teach me to do the wrong things.
They're not people who teach you to do the wrong things, and
They will know that it's people that cannot bully me and stuff.
good. IJ, best friends, any best friends?
No, I have a lot of close friends, but I wouldn't call them best
Have
friends.
you ever had a best friend?
Yeah.
You've had a best friend before?
Yes.
And so what's that person not your best friend anymore?
No, little. That was.
That's when you were younger.
Yeah.
Okay, but what's your parents' relationship with your friends?
Well, some of them have met my parents. Others have even sometimes knocked on the window to say hello to them while they're working or they're doing something.
Wow. Thank you very much. Again, I'm also learning from you guys, because now I know that, okay, so when I have kids in the future, I need to, like, know my child's friends. I need to be like their friends also, because you don't want your child to move with the wrong friends. All right, thank you very much, guys.
I also have one thing to say.
All right, let's go.
With my best friends, yes, my parents, like my mother especially, she knows their parents. We always like organize times where we go out, and then they message each other to ask if they're okay, and we can call each other on Saturdays if we want to talk to each other.
Wow. So it's very important for your parents to know your friends' parents. So it's like, apart from me having relationship with my friends, but like our parents also have like relationship together. Like they're also like friends.
Yeah.
Is that the same for you, Damsi and AJ?
Yeah.
That's
When
same.
I was younger.
When you were younger,
Yeah.
but it's different now because you're older. What about EJ?
Yes.
When you were younger,
Yeah.
but it's different now. So I guess, well, I mean, again, our parents are listening, and I'm sure they're able to pick one or two things that, you know, they need to work on, right? Because I mean, I don't think it should stop. I think it should continue. Even as an adult, I think my parents should know some of my friends' parents. Like, do you get me? Because again, it just helps you. It just helps to protect you, right? It just helps to guide you, right? So thank you for sharing that with me, Ketisimi. Thank you so much. So the next fun things that kids love a lot is grandma and grandpa time. Grandma and grandpa time. Do you want to share your experience with grandma and grandpa?
Well, I've seen one of my grandpas. He lives in Nigeria, and the other one lives in Australia. I haven't seen him yet.
Okay.
But one of my grandmas lives here in England with us, and we spend lots of time together. Sometimes we'll go on like long walks to Greg's and stuff. And when my cousin grows up, he'll be going on walks with us as well.
Wow. So you enjoy your time with your grandma. Okay. And let me see. Grandma and grandpa time is one of the things kids love to do a lot.
Oh, well, I know I'm familiar with my maternal grandma because she was one who raised us when I was little because my mom is always on work or something. But right now she's not here in England. She's in United States of America.
Okay. But what about on the phone? Do you get to like FaceTime?
Yeah, I call her every weekend.
Every weekend. Exciting. So if you're not talking to your grandma and your grandpa, you should every weekend, right? EJ, what's your relationship with grandma and grandpa?
Well, I've never really met any of my
Oh,
grandparents
I
because I
think
was born here.
that's similar to my story.
Because I was born here and I haven't traveled to Nigeria
Yeah.
since.
But I'm sure you have like some
Yeah,
granddads around in church, you know, some grandmas in church that still talk to you, spend some time with you,
Yeah.
you know, give you some food to eat, right? Thank you. So another fun thing that kids love to do a lot is hearing I love you from their parents, right? I mean, yeah, I love you. Imagine your dad telling you I love you and my mom telling me I love you. That's nice, right? I bet so for me, 30 gets that a lot.
Yeah, whenever I'm like leaving somewhere, when I'm going to school or something,
Yeah.
they always say it to me.
They always say, and how do you feel when you hear them tell you I love you every time?
I feel happy.
Oh my God. Let me see.
Yes.
You get I love you from your parents every time too.
When you're going to school.
When you go to school. Wow. Wow. Okay, EJ. You also get I love you when you go to school.
Yeah.
I bet if you're not telling your kids I love you every morning, then you have work to do. Right?
Yes.
So the last fun thing that kids love to do a lot is their parents supporting their passion. Right? Tessie loves to play football and you get to play football every Saturday. I bet that's your parents supporting what you love to do. Are there other things you love to do that you probably need more support from your parents? Or you feel like you get all the support that you need?
Well, I feel like I get all the support I need because I also like taking photos, and my parents are going to buy me a camera as well.
Exciting. What about you, Damsi?
Well, my parents do support me a lot because I'm someone who likes maths and science.
You're someone who likes maths and science.
And they're both specialists at that because I kind of find the brain quite fascinating.
Wow. EJ?
Yeah, they are very supportive because I like to do sports in general, but mainly basketball and table tennis. So they encourage me, they allow me to participate in tournaments and join teams.
So I guess there's nothing better than having your parents support you with your passion. Regardless it's sports, maths, science, church, anything. Just having that support is great, right? Thank you very much for sharing, guys. So moving on to the next topic we'll talk about now is annoying things that our parents do. We're not going to talk about the fun things and not talk about the annoying things because they can change some of these annoying things, right? And so the first one is that our parents think they are always right. our parents think no matter what, I am right. That is, have you felt that way before? When you feel like, you know what, I am actually right, but your parents are like, no, I'm right. Like, I am always right every time.
Yes, a few times. But if I like explain it to them, mommy and dad will always listen and understand that I'm right.
Wow. That's you have special parents, because again, there's some parents that are like, no, I'm always right. They never think their kids are right. And so for you to have your parents listen to you and also give you your right, so that's really special. That means, what's that relationship with your parents when it comes to that?
Sometimes when they know they're not specialists in the kind of area in some things, and I tell that it's this way and not that way, they answer me. But sometimes, even if I tell them that it's not that way, they won't listen. And then when it eventually doesn't turn out right, I say, I told you so.
So it's like sometimes you are right, you are the one that's wrong, right? And they are the one that are right? And then you oh no, you're wrong. But there are times whereby you are actually right and they have to like give you your right and say, oh, you know what, we were wrong on this.
Yeah.
That's happened before.
Yeah.
And how did you feel?
I feel like I told you so.
Oh, good. What about EJ?
Well, there are times when I'm right and they say that they're right, but sometimes you just have to accept it. Because even though you know it's right and you have the facts and evidence to back it up, you just have to calm down sometimes and agree
Accept
with them.
it. So where does that come from? Knowing that, you know what, I know I'm right, but my parents are saying that right, and I need to accept what they say. So where does that come from? Is it like respect or?
Yeah, I would say so. Because there are people that I know that if they said something that was right or wrong, and their parents said, "Oh, that was wrong," or that was wrong, they would argue, and then there'll be problems. So for me, it's just a sign of respect, show that I respect them.
Good boys. Then again, one more is that parents sometimes make their children feel they are not enough. It could be constant criticizing and pointing out errors every time, or constantly comparing them to others. IJ, do you want to go first? Have you ever, as your parents ever made you feel like you're not enough, or compare you to others, or just criticize you every time, the same thing every time?
Not every time like they've criticized me, but like sometimes, and I've take what they've compared me to, and I've tried to make it myself, so that I could be compared to other people.
Good. So for you, that's what. So for you, it's like, you know what, my parents are comparing me to these people, and it's like, okay, so what's about these other people my parents want for me? And then it's like, for you, you put in the work to be like.
To make it,
so most of the time, it's always making you be the best version of yourself, right?
Yeah.
Good. That's a good one. What about you, Dempsey?
Sometimes they do compare me and criticize me, but that's when I know that I'm at fault and I know I deserve that. And then I look at the others, just like AJ said, I look at what they're doing and then I try and make myself better.
Oh, that's good to hear, because for you, it's like, I know I'm at fault. So they're not just comparing you to other people just to make you feel a type of way or make you feel down. It's like when you do something wrong or when you've not done something up to a good standard, then they just compare you and you take that as a correction, and then you put in the work to also be the best version of yourself. Tetisim, how do you manage that? Have you ever been in a situation where your parents compare you to like other children or constantly criticize you?
Well, I'm not really constantly criticized, but when I'm told like what I've done wrong and what I should do next time, I should listen to it. And also, I'm not like really compared to other children, but like sometimes my mommy uses circumstances that mean like my boredom and says that that's how all those great people like Bill Gates find all their great ideas through boredom and stuff.
Wow. So it's like boredom. When you feel bored, they tell you can actually get ideas from feeling bored. Like, so it's like spending quality time with yourself.
Yeah.
That's exciting, because I read about that this morning. For kids, you and even adults, we should spend some time with ourselves alone, just to like, think and it works for you, right? Do you get ideas from spending time alone?
Yeah.
What ideas do you get? Like solutions to maths or
I remember something really important that I've forgotten.
Like forgotten. Good. So let's go again. What are the things you you think that your parents they do that you don't like?
Probably interruption.
Interruption, very, very important. So it's like they interrupt you and it's like you want to spend time with yourself.
No, like when you're talking.
When you're talking, so they don't allow you to finish your talk and they interrupt you. So that's one thing you do that you don't like. What about you, Damisi? Put that back.
When you do something and then they go like, why do you do it this way? And they start like, how do I say it? They start interrogating you and like, you know that you did something, but they don't actually know the real reason why you did it. And then they go like, why did you do this and stuff like that. And when you're talking, like Tim said, they interrupt you and say, they think it's for something else. Like, for example, you came home late and because the bus was late and then they think you were going off plane or something.
Yeah. So that's something you want them to stop doing, basically. Okay, what about you, Jay? Is there something you want your parents to stop doing?
I want them to stop being so active because I don't really like they should stop doing stuff, but like they should at least stop doing it so frequently because there are times when my dad travels and he comes back very late, but he still goes to work at night, and then when he comes back, he's back to his at-home work. So sometimes it's okay just to relax.
So for you, it's about dad just relaxing. It's not about, but could it be also about you wanting some more quality time with your dad? Or you just want your dad to relax?
Yeah, I just wanted to relax.
Wow, that's so good. So that's one. So I guess again that answers my next question because again I was going to ask you what would you like them to start doing, and so I bet that's one. You want Popsy, and what about Mom?
Mom's the same way, but not as bad as.
But dad, so you want dad to start relaxing it more, and is there other things you want them to start doing to you?
No, that's just it.
Just that. What about that, Missy? Do you have things you want your parents to start doing to you? You like them to start doing?
When they're busy and they busy themselves doing something, and when they eventually get tired, like, they start snapping at you and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like I'm saying that you should relax more and be more patient.
More patient. So for you, it's like you want them to be more patient
and stop snapping to
you. All right. 30 Simi, are there things you want your parents to stop doing to you?
Sometimes, especially with my dad, like when he's working, he can be so is stuck into the work and so distracted that you can ask him for £1,000 and he would say yes.
Wow. But that's good, that's not good. I mean, you get the right time to ask for something.
But sometimes, like when you need to say something important or you really want to like spend time with him, he's really busy.
Yeah. Okay. So for you, it's like more quality time. Like, so do you think that works a lot and you want more quality time with that? All right, no worries. We're coming to an end now, and finally, 30 Simi, what do you think your life will be like in the future? What do you think? What do you imagine your life to be like in the future? Maybe like it could be with career, it could be with sports, it could be with family. Do you have anything? A picture of what you think your life will be like?
No, not really.
Not really. Okay, take your time. Damisi, do you have a picture of what you think your life will be like in the future?
Yes.
What's it?
I want to become a neurosurgeon.
You want to become a neurosurgeon? Okay.
And I know I have to study hard for that.
You have to study hard for that. That's really great. EJ?
I would like to do something in IT, preferably cybersecurity.
Cybersecurity?
Yeah.
So that's something you want in the future? Yeah. Okay. What about in church? Are there things in church you'd want to see yourself do in the future? Maybe like a prayer coordinator or a pastor or anything. EJ, do you want to go first? Nothing? Nothing? You're doing the things you like to do in the church at the moment. Yeah, I know. Let me see, are there things in the church you want to see yourself doing in the future?
I don't know yet.
You don't know. Maybe joining the choir?
Maybe.
30 Simi?
And maybe joining the photography group.
Joining this photography group. That's really cool. That's really cool. Let's talk about clothes, because you guys came outside looking really good today. Do your parents choose your clothes for you? Even on Sundays?
Sometimes.
EJ, for you,
Well,
no.
If You mean like they go into your wardrobe and they pick out something for you to wear? No.
Yeah.
But if I wear something and they don't like it, I would have to change.
And they don't like it. And that happens a lot, I'm sure.
Probably
No.
like once every 2-3 months.
Okay. All right. What about Damsey? You said yes.
Well, no, not really. I pick my clothes myself, but
Yeah.
sometimes when I pick something that they don't really like, probably the choice of color and how
Yeah.
I mixed them up, they have to say I got changed or something.
Okay. Tell it to me.
Well, no, not often. My mom would always tell me to pick up my own clothes because I need to be independent. And that if she says that if I don't know what to wear, I'll just go in my pants and boxers. But sometimes if I wore something that doesn't make sense, she'll say, do you have better clothes? And I go in your wardrobe and look again.
Yeah, that's really great. That's really great. I mean, it's exciting to know that we can pick our clothes ourselves, but when we wear something that is not too great, our parents can help us to, make an adjustment with our clothes and our wardrobe. And we're running up now. And does anybody want to share any fun fact about themselves? Just something interesting about you, Tetisimi, that we don't know? A fun fact? Think about it. Damsi, any fun fact about yourself?
Well, yes.
Okay.
Like every 2 weeks, I come to the library in my school and I take a novel, and my librarian has known me. The librarian has known me to always be there. Like she said, like I've literally read every book in the library.
Wow. So like you go to the library every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You pick a novel there in the
Sometimes
library.
shorter than that.
Sometimes shorter than that, and you stay there for how long?
Well, sometimes I use my whole lunch there.
There. Okay, that's an interesting fun fact about you. Do you have more you want to share? Oh, that's just EJ.
Well, I would say that I would have a knowledge of people in the Bible and places and things. So I'm able to, like if they were asking me a question, like they were asking me questions and I had to guess the place, the person, or the thing,
Yeah.
I'll be able to get it very quickly.
Good. Tetisimi, do you have any you want to share with us now?
A bit like EJ as well. Like whenever we played the Bible game in our church,
Yeah.
I always able to like get the person first. And once I had to be told that I couldn't play anymore because other people had to get a chance.
Oh. So if your children are not playing the Bible game in the church, they are missing out on something, right?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. I'll just quickly share a fun fact about me, and is that I would like to listen to podcasts every time. I spend a lot of time watching different podcasts on YouTube just to learn about relationships, God, finances, career. And for me, it's exciting to now be here hosting a podcast show. So yeah, I guess the fun facts are good things to be aware of. And we are coming to an end. And finally, let's just share what our relationship with God is. So who's gonna go first? EJ, what's your relationship with God at the moment?
At the moment, I would say I'm really close with God because a few years ago, I had a condition which I was in hospital for 2 to 3 months. So it really made me think that, something bad could have happened while I was in there.
Yeah.
So it makes me think that, if it wasn't for God, I probably would not be sitting here today speaking.
Good. So, we're saying that to a lot of kids out there right now, EJ, that are probably in the hospital or are feeling a little bit down or sad, their relationship with God
Yes,
can help them, right? Can bring them out of that, right?
Yes.
Thank you. Damsi, what's your relationship with God at the moment?
Well, from a little age, my parents have always been the one to show me who God is. Like, I know that for the first time, like when I first tried praying, that was many years ago, I didn't really understand the concept of why do we need to pray and why is there a God and stuff.
Yeah.
But then I read the book of Genesis, and it kind of says he was the one who created us. He made us who I am. And when people even laugh at you and when people actually say, what's you doing and stuff, I know I'm not a mistake. I know that I have a purpose in life,
Yeah.
which has to be fulfilled on earth. So when he created me, he didn't make me here for no reason, and I have to fulfill that purpose in life.
Yeah.
So I kind of like every single time, because somebody told me that you should always learn to pray without ceasing. Not just when you're going to bed or when you wake up, you have to pray whenever you know that you can pray.
Yeah.
So pray without ceasing.
Thank you very much, Damasi. Tell me, what's your relationship with God like?
I would say close, because my mommy is a Sunday school teacher, so from like a very young age, she always taught me how to like read the Bible and like to read memory verses. We have verses of the Bible over our house. She's like also taught me to like read my Bible every day in the morning and to like listen to Bible commentary and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, thank you very much. It's exciting to know that our parents actually, teach us about Christ and talk to us about reading the Bible and just, direct us and guide us with like our relationship with God, right? So again, if you are listening to our podcast and you are not talking to your kids about God, now is the best time to start doing that, because that has helped the Rejoicing Family children be who they are. And thank you very much, guys, for coming on our podcast today. I'm sure you enjoyed yourself. I really enjoyed myself. I've learned a lot. And thank you guys for tuning in once again to stream our podcast on Spotify. You can still go on YouTube if you want to see our beautiful faces. And do drop a comment. And talk to you soon. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. We appreciate you joining us today. We hope you have learned something and have been blessed. Don't forget to visit us if you are in the Birmingham area in the UK at 5 Matching Road, Eddington, B236DR. And follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and on YouTube. Search Foursquare Gospel Church Birmingham on your search engine and you will find us. If you are not around us, please find a Bible-believing church and connect with God. Remember, we would love to hear from you. Send us a DM on our Instagram page at trf.podcast. Have a wonderful rest of the week. God bless you.